Okay, everything is there. Good to go. Alright, and it's there. Hi, y'all. Welcome to another episode. I said another episode of hold on, let me turn it down. There you go. Grown Ups with Sippy Cups. I wanted to go over something that has been pestering me for the longest. This is something that has just trolled me for quite some time, for years, actually, years. And I was just like, does nobody notice this? Does no one notice that this is a thing, that there's a difference between two things that are so close together, such as happiness and comfort? And I finally I was like, okay, we're gonna go over this and we're gonna talk about it because it bothers me, and I absolutely, like, this is the bane of my existence when I'm talking to friends, family, anybody. And so here we are. Welcome. So it's just me. Lisa is actually going to join me on another topic that I am very, very big on, but nothing like this. I just wanted to, as a responsible semi-adult, I just wanted to bring this up because it's just something that when you're going into adulthood and you are not at all taught the difference in the two, this will ruin you. This will definitely be one of your downfalls as an adult. And I say that because a lot of people confuse the two. Big time. I used to be talking to my friends, like we'd go out, go to lunch, dinner, like it's a group of us and just having a conversation. Sometimes I am that person where people will come and just sit and just talk to, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was not involved in any of the conversation before this. And so a lot of times I would just be like, taken aback by some of the things that would come out of their mouths, relationship-wise, work-wise, just lifing. And as a young person, listening to these people who are older, and you would go, but don't you know better? Aren't you supposed to know more than me because you're older? Especially co-workers. Meeting people on the street, hearing the same conversation, and it's just like, oh, well, maybe you just were never taught the difference. So, I will bring this knowledge forth to you. Take it as you will. Whether you're an adult, or you're a teenager, or you're, just somebody lifing. You all need to know the difference between comfort and happiness. And I've always said to people, because I like the definitions and stuff they go through here versus what's the difference? I like where they were going with this, because the biggest question I used to ask all the time of friends growing up is, are you happy in your relationship? And it could be talking about anything, with your significant other, with your job, blah, 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 so forth and so on, right? And the second they would say to me, I'm comfortable. That was the second I was like, there is no comfortable at all in a relationship. There is no comfortable at all at a job. Like, I'm comfortable with my best friend. That's not comfort. That's you never, ever, ever want to feel comfortable in something dealing with another living being. Ever. Like, don't do it. If you feel comfort in a relationship, it's over the second it started. Because what's happening is you're mistaking a feeling of just, I feel safe. I feel comfort. I feel safe. I don't, it's like when we were having a discussion the other day about the difference between being nice and being kind. You don't, being kind is where you want to be. Being nice is not so good. Because when you're being nice, you're avoiding a lot of things. You're just avoiding angering someone. You're avoiding the absolute truth of something. Comfort falls into that category. So I will read this definition to you so you understand what I'm saying. Comfort is about safety, predictability, and avoiding friction, which often leads to stagnation. Happiness is an internal state of fulfillment achieved through personal growth, pursuing purpose and meaningful connections. While comfort soothes you in the moment, happiness requires movement and must be earned over the long run. So, you know how people earn trust? Happiness is the same way. But if you were genuinely, like me, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. Like, I was born with such a, as it was said in Tremors, that boy was born with a sunny disposition. That's me. That is me. I'm just happy-go-lucky. Like, everybody said, your shine never seems dull. Because it's not. Like, not much bothers me. I just kind of keep it moving. It's like that even kilter. For years I was into studying Buddhism and just like going through it and just like enjoying just the fact that like, just live. Just live. There are things you can't change. For anybody who's like super religious and they hit hard times and they go through the suffrage, I just get so confused. I'm like, don't you preach to everybody else about Jesus and loving him and how he takes care of you and so forth and so on? Like, why are you so miserable? Like, why are you so concerned about things? Just pick it up, dust yourself off, keep moving. Like, you'll be alright. And for me, that's how I've always taken things. So I am pretty happy most of the time. Anytime that I'm not happy, it's because there's a recipe I need. Food. You know, my little fur baby there, like, maybe something's not right with him and he's having a hard day, you know. Something is getting on his nerves. Sorry, I'm turning my phone sound off. Like, maybe there's things that are just, not that I have no, if it can be fixed, it can be fixed, right? So for me, there's no just get happy because I'm about to fix it, you know? For instance, I went to go the other day look up how to make kimonos. By the time I was done, I felt so fulfilled. I was like, oh, okay, I know how to sew. I have a sewing machine. You know, I also have Stitch Witchery to set me off in the right path so I could just undo it if I have to. Versus, like I said, unhappiness with, you know, like, dang, I don't have the recipe for this meal and I need to make it right now. You know, that kind of thing. I wouldn't say I'm like miserable, but you guys know when it's something you really have your heart set on and you look into the cupboard and you're looking through the fridge and you don't have those items. Like, sometimes it just sets you off. You're like, oh, you know, like as people say now, hangry. You just get hangry. So there's no point whatsoever in just setting yourself up for misery. So yes, happiness is a required level of life, but you're not going to feel true happiness if you're not allowing yourself to feel happiness. But to feel comfort where you should feel happiness, that's a whole other can of worms. That's a no-go. You're in a relationship and you cannot admit to yourself that your significant other makes you very unhappy because of the things they do. Sit down, have a conversation with them, talk to them. What brought you into that relationship in the first place? What brought you to that job in the first place? What made you buy that car that you are now like just so dissatisfied with? Everything comes with, you know, an open book of this is what you're getting, this is what you're getting into. Even a relationship, if you bother to pay attention to the person when you first start talking to them. Get to know them. That's why I get so worked up when I see people getting married, like, right away. Like, I am not the marrying type, but when I see people getting married right away, like a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, I'm like, oh, are you sure you know that person? Did you really, like, date them long enough to want to marry them? There's only very few stories of people getting married at, like, a weekend and being, like, just super happy for, like, the next 50 years. But I can also say those people are usually in my position where they are super happy. I've never heard them say, this is my comfort. I always hear them say, you know how happy they make me? I've never once heard somebody, I'm comfortable. Because those relationships are not good. In any manner of the word good. As in, like I said, spouse, job, career. You need to remember that comfort comes from a favorite blanket. A genuinely nice warm sweater. You know, a car seat, not a car seat, but like the covering of a car seat. Like, there's this Batman car seat cover I want, but it's not going to bring me comfort. It's just going to make the vehicle look good. Well, for me, because I'm in it, driving around in Batmobile. But that's my own personal comfort. It's not for someone else, it's for me. Now, stating in that, if you're in one of those things I said, relationship, job, vehicle, and those things are only bringing you comfort, and now you got your significant other who you're saying brings you comfort, are they happy with your choices? Are they happy with what you're doing? Or are they just as comfortable? Usually in a relationship where one person is comfortable and the other one is happy, you're finding that the person that is happy is getting what they want, but the other person is comfortable because I'm not alone. I feel fulfilled in a matter of I could just get a hug whenever I want. I'm not alone. What happens when the happy one stops doing those things because they're recognizing you're not good? Then the comfort leaves, and then you're just miserable. And you're like, I don't want to be bothered with this anymore. The nature of the feeling. Comfort is an external state of material well-being and security. It thrives on routine and avoiding the unfamiliar. Let's go eat out at, Taco Bell tonight. Oh. Okay. You're gluten-free vegan. Taco Bell's probably not the best choice. They do in certain states, I will correct, they do in certain states do vegan gluten-free menus. They do. I have one up the street. They do it too, if you ask. But now you're willing to have a health crisis to keep the peace instead of saying, remember, I can't eat those things. Can we go elsewhere? If your significant other, the happy one, says no, because that's what I want, you're going to land yourself in the hospital because now you're just like, okay. Because now you don't want to stumble into their happiness and ruin their day. The other benefit to that would have been, well, we could get you Taco Bell, and can I have and insert whatever local gluten-free facility you have near you? That's not killing anybody's happiness. They'll probably be a little unhappy. That's fine. But guess what? Gluten-free tiramisu tastes just the same as regular tiramisu. I'd like to insert that there are cannolis that are gluten-free, but then I searched and I found that cannolis are just naturally occurring to be gluten-free. Just thought I'd point that out there to you. So happiness is an internal emotional state. According to philosophical concepts like the Aristotelian idea of, oh, what is that? Eudaimonia. Eudaimonia. True happiness is about living a life of purpose, self-awareness, and personal progress. See what I'm saying to you guys? So you can feel all the comfort you want, but if you're not happy, your heart is slowly, day by day, dissipating into the great wonder. It is just disappearing. It's going away. It's a nothing burger, as some would say. Pain and discomfort. Comfort requires the avoidance of pain. When you seek only comfort, you might stay in a familiar but unfulfilling situation just to avoid the friction of change or the fear of failure. Which, like I said, significant other wants to eat in one place, you know that's going to bring you discomfort, you know that's not going to be good for you, but guess what? You're avoiding that friction, so you are going to end up in a problem situation. Worse than it would have been if you just opened your mouth. You don't want to be comfortable in a relationship you are unhappy in. And like I said, stop saying it's relationships. No, this is work as well. A vehicle you bought you did not want. An outfit you bought to fit into something, you were going out somewhere. You know the greatest level of being uncomfortable because you decided you wanted to do something that you thought, like, oh, well, let me make that person happy, is buying an outfit that is way too small to just have been at this get together when you should have just, no, that's not going to make me happy to go. Happiness often requires stepping through temporary discomfort, pursuing your goals, facing painful truths, or working on yourself can be deeply uncomfortable in the short term, but yields lasting fulfillment in the long run. And I absolutely love that, because for me, as I keep saying and going on and doing a thing, I am a happy person. I am good to go because I never sacrifice my levels of happiness for someone else's. A lot of people will sacrifice their happinesses just to be a part of some group, some affiliate program, something. And you suddenly realize in the long run you lose yourself. I see all the time careers and relationships where people will just lose themselves. And this is a good point to bring up really quick. You ever watch like old school talk shows and you hear about these couples that divorce after being married for like 50, 60 years, and the partner's like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know where I would go now. Because this person who was finally broken free of the fact that they were living in comfort versus happiness has now broken the chains of attachment to their comfort. And they suddenly have come to terms with the fact that, oh my God, I deserve to be happy. I want to be happy. And this, I couldn't tell you what breaks them free, what opens their eyes. Most of the time these people have these moments where they just like, I was never happy. I was just trying to make other people happy. You go to a family get-together. Oh, you're still single. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. You should have started a family. You should have gotten married like everybody else. You should have had a career. You should have... Everybody else. Yeah, that's all well and good, but that's for everybody else. That's not for me. That's not the life I want. I'm happy with my 9 to 5 that now I just got my promotion. I'm making $20 an hour. I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I'm pretty chill. My house is full of good, comforting furniture, food that I love. I have a working vehicle. I'm alright. I don't need anybody in my space to confuse that for me, because I was never taught true happiness versus trying to be comfortable around someone else and give them their happiness. And that's okay too. That's okay, because in my growing up standards, I was like, I want my comfort. I don't want to have to get comfortable around somebody else and then having to please them all the time. Like, where's my space? Can I have my space? Conversation being had on a Reddit the other day, and this guy said he's done with trying to be Mr. Nice Guy to his significant other who just does not give two shits about him and his happiness and him living and him being a human being. And he said it finally like start to hit when she was just, oh, I'm going out with my friends. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. Blah, 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 blah. Insert little sprinkles of just like her being rude. And, you know, he takes a look around. He's like, I love the house being clean. She always leaves it messy for me to clean. I'm happy with a clean house, but I shouldn't have to clean up after two grown people. You know, I cook dinner. Something in it she doesn't like. So she doesn't eat it. So she comes in all the time with her food. Neither times has she come in here in the few days I'm noting this down to tell you guys on Reddit, has she offered me food. And when I bring it up to her, she says, oh, you're always cooking that stuff for yourself, so I didn't think you would want anything outside. Did you ask? No. But that's because he allowed her to walk all over him and be comfortable like that. I don't remember the exact years they were together, but this goes the same for the person on Reddit who was complaining as well about their job and how they have been taken so advantage of because they just never had the moment in their time of day to say, maybe I should say no to working this shift for insert the other human being there. No, instead they're like, well, I guess I suppose I could switch a few things around and stay longer today. Now, that guy, he had quite an explosion when he left work, and he was just doing things as he was leaving, and he was like, let them come for me. I've worked in this I think he said he's worked in the company, I want to say it said 20 years, I might have read it wrong. But he was going through all of that, and I'm like, bro, you worked that long there, and freaking nothing's happening. Oh my. No, I've been put into manager positions quicker than a lot of people who have been working in positions for forever, looking for, you know, a raise, to get promoted, and it all came down to, because I have my own happiness to worry about. I have my own stresses to worry about. I will tell you this, guys. If you stress too much, you will give yourself some serious health issues. Very serious. I was so stressed out at my one job that was absolutely meaningless. That I ended up at the doctor with like some serious stomach issues. Turns out I had ulcers because I was just so miserable and not wanting to be there. And instead of leaving, I was just kind of like, I need the money. You don't need the money so bad as to you're stressing yourself out to the point where you're going to have higher insurance bills than anything else. Like, your health bills start coming in and you're needing this prescription, this surgery, this surgery. You get to the level of like, oh man, I'm messed up now. So thank God at the time I was at my one job that my parents finally, after several doctor's visits, were like, nah, you done, put in your 2 weeks. And I was like, I don't want you guys supporting me though. And they were like, put in your 2 weeks. That's not the point. We want Aisha here at home. We do not want to be going to visit Aisha in the ground. Because I was being stubborn. Growth versus stagnation. Comfort keeps you stuck. When everything is too safe and familiar, it can quiet your potential and lead to indifference, boredom, or a life on autopilot. Happiness is always growing. It pushes you to take risks, learn, and stretch into the unfamiliar because it aligns with your core values and potential. Alrighty? And at the very closing here, which I will go into because I've rambled on enough, If you're currently trying to untangle these two in your own life, tell me. Tell me. Is this feeling related to your career, a relationship, or a daily routine? Are you feeling bored, anxious, or just stuck? And then it says, I can help you brainstorm actionable ways to step out of the rut. Thank you, AI. I don't use AI. I don't use ChatGPT or whatever like that. This just pops up on my laptop. Every time I tell it no, it just pops up. So you guys have that there. That's available to you. You can use it. My best friend uses it. My cousins use it all the time. You guys can feel free to use it. Skynet, don't come for me when you turn on, because I'm just letting y'all know I feel for y'all. I've seen Animatrix. I cry every time at that one. That it just hurts my feelings. So now that y'all are aware of comfort and happiness, and if I missed something, please let me know. You can always get a hold of me. Just know that comfort belongs to a blanket, a pillow, a stuffed animal you have of a relative that passed away. It brings you comfort, solace. It brings you that deep feeling of, I have this. It's comfortable to me. As we're happiness, it's a feeling of warmth. It is like a guttural, like feeling of like your heart's fluttering. Happiness. And your heart's not fluttering because you're looking at a hot person. It's fluttering because you're like, this brings me joy. It would be equivalent to, I'm a nerd so I could say it, looking at a game I used to play as a kid, not having my mom anymore, and just being able to feel the joy of being in that moment of how I used to feel. Being able to show my mom, like, this, I love this game. This is so good. And her getting it. You know what I'm saying? Sitting down and playing TV, playing the Odyssey and Atari with my family as a kid. Like, those are moments of happiness. The comfort level, going home to a safe space after school every day. Going home to a safe space after a crappy day at work. Popping open a Dr. Pepper and sitting on your favorite couch and being in the moment. The happiness. If you're a family person, your kids running up to you and giving you the tightest hug possible. Your cats, your dogs running up and just hopping on your lap, and everybody's just overjoyed, jubilant to see you. That is true happiness, when you can enjoy that and suck it all in while you're sitting on the comfort of your favorite couch in your favorite spot of said couch. I hope I broke through for some of you. This is something that you can go to a therapist and talk to them about, but only you can fix these two by turning them into what they really are and focusing on, this is not the feeling I want here, but this is the feeling I want here. True happiness. Love you guys, and see you in the next video.